Well, welcome in, folks. Week 6 of the high school football season here in the beautiful state of Ohio, coming from Alumni Field inside Stan Scozen Stadium. Kyle Cornell joined alongside AA Anthony Alford for our matchup today between two of the Metro Division's finest, the Independence Blue Devils and the Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves here on CVC TV. In AA, the story for both these teams, obviously records polar opposite for the most part, but the status of the rosters on both sides fairly similar. Both teams dealing with multiple injuries in total. 13 players out tonight due to injury so far. We're just past the halfway point in the season.
Yeah, we're right in the core of the season right now, so dealing with those injuries, that is a test for a lot of these, for both of these teams. But the good news at this stage, other guys get a chance to have experience. Other guys are able to get things going. And you have young guys, you have freshmen, you have sophomores who may not have gotten time on Friday nights. They're getting those times right here, right now. So here we go.
Definitely a lot on the line in this rivalry game for Cuyahoga Heights, coming off the visiting team here, coming off a tough 35-0 loss against Kirtland. Again, an opponent that we've seen earlier on this year in that game against Perry, that AA has coined possibly one of the best games he's seen in his entire life. Perry coming out with the win on that. Kirtland rebounding strong, winning now multiple games in a row afterwards, including against a tough team in Cuyahoga Heights that we're going to see tonight. And AA, again, just a lot of injuries for the Red Wolves as well, losing some key players, some big pieces of the offense and defense. Not just one side, really both sides of the ball getting affected. We'll talk about Independence in a second, but first, Cuyahoga Heights trying to just kind of weather the storm here.
Yeah, Coach Martin, he talked about it before. It's like, hey, other guys are going to have to step up. Other guys are going to have to go in and handle business. What he's looking for tonight, no matter who's in the game, he's looking for a complete football game. A football game that's lack of turnovers. He talked to you earlier this week. One of the big things is like, they got to take care of the football. Too many interceptions, too many fumbles. And part of that, it doesn't really matter who's on the field from that standpoint. You want to prevent those, and you want your controllables if you're the Red Wolves, and that's what Coach Martin was talking about.
Definitely a lot, and you're going to rely a lot on big number 9, Fletcher Sturgill. Again, I say big, but he's only about 5'9", 170, the senior quarterback, but he definitely does run the show for the Red Wolves in this offense, trying to control the turnovers, as you mentioned, AA. On the flip side, for the Blue Devils this year, 0-5. This has historically been a pretty good team that you usually see in the playoffs or contending for that playoff spot. Hoping to turn around now in CVC play against a kind of local rival, too, with Cuyahoga Heights.
And you know what? Coach Rick Adams, been here 9 seasons. Obviously the injury bug's been tough on his front. The early part of the schedule, very, very challenging. They face a lot of top-level competition. But as crazy as it sounds, they have a favorable schedule the rest of the way here. So a win tonight, and you can get things back on track and still put together an incredible season.
Yeah, Cuyahoga Heights, their defense has been really to write home about so far this year. Pretty good. Only 15 points allowed per game, but their offense only scoring about 16 points per game after that shutout loss to Kirtland last week. On the other side, Independence only 10 points per game this season, but the defense giving up 35 points. That led Coach Adams telling me too, AA, that defense is going to be a top priority today, especially when you lose that many offensive playmakers on that side of the ball. Defense has to step up and keep Cuyahoga Heights in check.
One thing that's going to be critical here, we know this is a rivalry game. Basically, the only separation is Brecksville Road. I mean, the only difference here, both of these teams, they're excited. They're ready to play. You want to control those emotions, too. You want controllable excitement. But I'll tell you what, these fans, both sides, they're ready to go.
Yeah, both sides of the stands filling up here as kickoff is just moments away. In Week 6 action of Ohio high school football, this is our 7th game on the Chagrin Valley Conference.com network here. First doubleheader of the first week. Got another doubleheader coming up in a little bit later on in the schedule, Thursday, Friday, that we'll talk about later on in the night. But in the meantime, we got football about ready to go. Kickoff is underway. It's a bit of a pooch kick in the middle. And ball filled and just dropped down. For Independence, that was Xavier Wilson. You're going to hear him a lot for Independence making the tackle.
A unique kickoff formation, first off, the stack formation, but that was handled smartly. You get the football first off and then just fall. You don't want to take any chances. You're already in good field position. And Cuyahoga Heights ready to go on offense, Kyle.
Yep, so we're going to see what Fletcher Sturgill, what a name, as a starting quarterback for Cuyahoga Heights to do. 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line for the Red Wolves. Man in motion, going to be a quick handoff up the middle. Solid gain, still moving forward on the carry. Actually, that was number 5, Francis Connors, who had that carry.
Yeah, Francis Connors, one of the leaders on offense on his team, period. One of the big things that Independence is looking for defensively, 1 of 11, meaning all 11 players need to play their own assignments. And you cannot break away from your assignments. So we'll talk more about that as the game progresses.
Yep, 2nd and 4 from their own 42. Another handoff. Connors again at the middle. He's going to push through and get that 1st down. Still on his feet, but eventually brought down after a gain of about, want to say, another 6 yards. Move the chains.
So you already see with Connors, he's able to drive through, wrestle, and get things up. Speaking of which, Connors is a wrestler. Something we learned during CVC Media Days this summer. He is a wrestler. So that low center, balance, like he knows how to stay low to the ground and get power when he's running with the football.
Yeah, this will be a 1st down and 10 on near midfield. Handoff. Connors again up the middle, pushing forward, but it's stopped by the defensive line there. Multiple blue jerseys able to collapse inside, led by 51 there, Owen Szymanski, who was part of that group there.
So part of the defensive assignments here tonight, the 1 of 11, the big thing is and Coach talked about it with you, Coach Adams, like they're going to run drive, and they might go to the outside of 4th play and then drive again. So you got to be locked in and focused every single play. Be disciplined.
Yeah, pitch to the outside. Still on his feet. Cuyahoga Heights turning the corner. Big play. Spinning inside. Still on his feet. Breaks down inside the 30 and brought down at about the 27-yard line. That was number 8, Devin Dezek with the carry on the pitch.
And that's again, so look at what just happened here. You had, 3 straight dive plays on the inside, which also had big gains. And then you think like, oh, you're locked in, you're ready to go. And then the pitch to the outside. This is what they do. This is what Coach Martin, this is the offense you come to expect when you're watching Cuyahoga Heights football.
Smooth 25-yard run. It makes it 1st and 10 on the 27. Under 10 to go in the 1st quarter. Handoff inside Cuyahoga Heights. That's number 4. Derek DeSanza, he gets a solid gain again of about roughly 5 to 6 yards.
And again, and the leaders of this team talked about it for Cuyahoga Heights. Connors, Eddie Barrett, Nick Novak, CVC Media Days, talk about who's going to be the breakout player. Santa is one of the guys mentioned, and he gets a good carry there.
Yeah, solid run now. It's 2nd and 5. Ball on the 22-yard line. Cuyahoga Heights driving. And another handoff. DeSanza again with the solid carry. Gets just past the 1st down marker. He's going to have that 1st down at about the 15-yard line. 7 yards.
Running the football tough here against this 4-4 defense. And, the first drive is always tough against an offense like Cuyahoga Heights because you're trying to see, okay, how's the assignment's going to play out. The other thing, too, you notice as well, the number of substitutions, too. So there is depth here with Cuyahoga Heights.
Watch number 7, Anthony Katunas getting out wide to the right. Motion could be in action. Instead, they're going to keep it under center. Here comes Cuyahoga Heights. There is that motion. Handoff Connors inside, breaking through, getting down inside the 10 to about the 5. Right at that 1st down marker, and I think you got just enough double A to move the chains again.
And Kyle, the explosiveness, and we've seen it all drive long, the explosiveness of the offensive line, they shoot out of the caps immediately.
So we got 1st and goal double A at the 4-yard line. Cuyahoga Heights ready to get on the board here first, early in this 1st quarter. Handoff inside, turning the corner, close, but no dice. DeSanza tried to get inside and got stopped at about the 2. So give him a gain of about 2 yards.
And this time, credit the Blue Devils, because this time, their defensive line, they were the low mans up front. And that minimized the game. Talk about the lowest guy to the ground. That's who's going to make the plays up front. Independence did that just now.
All right, so 2nd and goal, just inside the 2 at about the 1. Handoff inside. Connors gets through and He is in. Touchdown, Cuyahoga Heights. And just like that, a couple minutes into the first quarter, the score is 6-0. The Red Wolves on top of Independence.
Right down the field. They had good field position to start the drive, just short of the 40. So they didn't have to drive that far, but every single game, physical attack, and all but one play was a drive inside, but the big play was the outside pitch.
And a bit of a interesting formation, but bring the kicker back in now too. Mike Pasterkiewicz going to line up that kick. Snap down, hold, kick on the way, and that one is good. They were looking both the referees looking at each other to make sure, and that one does go through. 7-0 to score, 7:52 to go in this first quarter, I should say. Here on CVC TV, the Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves leading the Independence Blue Devils. Of course, reminding the presenting sponsor for CVC TV is Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. That is www.ohsurgery.com. Of course, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. Well, just a few minutes in AA, and Cuyahoga Heights does not throw the ball once. To keep it on the ground, move down the field, and get that early touchdown. How does Independence respond here?
Well, we're going to see. I mean, they have a big play offense. So this first drive, though, for a team that has faced a lot of adversity, for a team that's facing a lot of injuries, I'm more concerned like how they're going to respond mentally. But the key is, again, this is a rivalry game. They're all excited. They're ready to play. So just the excitement of just wanting to get on offense and respond, I think the Blue Devils are up for the task.
You get to see number 17 back down on the field, too, for the Blue Devils. 4 different starting quarterbacks so far this season in 5 games. But the good news is Dominic Narduzzi is back in the lineup tonight. Number 17, he's going to be on your TV and stream there. He's going to be a big deal for Independence AA. Talking with Coach Adams pregame, he said this is going to matter. He's got to show up tonight.
And he has an arm. He looked good at pregame.
Definitely does. The kick is all the way back, fielded at about the 8-yard line. Solid kick in return for the Blue Devils. Turning inside, brought down, ball is out. Still on the floor. There's a flag that came in late. Looks like maybe that was actually just where the ball dropped out, but Independence may have fell on that one. And they're going to keep it with the Blue Devils. Scary moment there for Independence.
Yeah, and everybody knows the difference there at the scoreboard, how that was going to flip. But every part of the game, we talked about, again, the response. Cuyahoga Heights driving right down the field. So a lot of these players, they play not only on offense but also defense and special teams. So mentally getting right back into it, protecting the football, take caring of the football is huge.
All right, so here we go. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils on their own 26 after that scare with the fumble, but they're going to keep this ball and try to get some things going. Narduzzi and the pistol going to hand off left side, brought down almost immediately at the line of scrimmage. Some extracurriculars happening in there too. That was Kornick on the carry. Jack Kornick going to be a big deal tonight. He's going to get a lot of that workload, AA.
Absolutely, and I like what he brings to the table. Senior captain, tailback. He's the rock of the team, so we're going to see how he's coming out and perform.
Yeah, only about a gain of, actually, they're going to say he lost a yard. I thought maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. A jump there at the end, and it looks like it's going to be encroachment on the defense. First penalty of the evening, and that's going to go against Cuyahoga Heights.
And when weird things happen at rivalry games, right? Weird things, and I think the officials, they're trying to figure out
who did what first, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Look at there as both sides went out there. We'll see what the official call is. And yep, it is going to be encroachment on the defense. So give him 5 yards back.
Yeah,
so
that's not something that Coach Martin, his coaching staff, obviously, not happy about that.
And the Independence student section in full force tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see.
This is the type of game you trash talking Applebee's after the game. Like, this is that type of game.
Just right down Rockside, right there you go. Getting second in 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Getting Narduzzi getting the orders from the sideline from Coach Adams. Got Karenick on his hip. Take the snap, looking, gonna run it himself up the middle. Narduzzi cutting inside, gets hit and gets a solid gain of about 3 yards. Narduzzi with the great carry there, recognizing there was no one open, and Costanza gets tackled for Cuyahoga Heights.
And that's where his experience comes in. You know, he's taken the last couple of games since he's been back. You know, he came back in the Cardinal game a couple weeks ago, you know, getting to rust. But he didn't forget how to play. You know, getting that, you know, he had experience as a starter, you know, the last couple of years, so it's good to go.
And another jump from Cuyahoga Heights, another offsides, 5 more yards. That's going to be a first down for Independence.
And one thing we did not take into account, but it's true, like, you know, last week, Cuyahoga Heights had the equally emotional game against Kirtland, you know, a week ago. So you go from that, and you turn around, you got to face Independence with, you know, you got friends and stuff down the street. Got to be focused, ready to go.
They definitely do. And, again, some guys playing out of position, too, with all the injuries.
That's right.
Maybe you're seeing a little bit of, hey, we're out of position a little bit, getting used to the snap counts, getting used to different formations. It shows up on the field.
Yeah, that's right.
As now Narduzzi takes the shotgun snap, going to whip it out left side. That is caught, I should say right side. Move forward is Karanak. He got about 9 yards, solid completion. Jack Karanak with the catch.
Great reception, great find there by Narduzzi, and he's just operate. And that's the thing. Defensively, they got to watch, too. Maybe this is why they're a little jumpy here. Defensively, that ball's coming out quick. You know, this spread offense, big play offense. So Cuyahoga Heights looking to be aggressive.
Definitely want to make that move as, again, it's now 2nd and 1. Just over 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. 7-0 to score. Cuyahoga Heights leading Independence, but they're driving already at near midfield here. The Blue Devils trying to get a response to the Red Wolves' first offensive possession. And Narduzzi going to keep it himself, cut inside, get that first down. He's going to have just enough. 2 yards, he only needed 1, moving the chains. Independence, another first down.
And he knew that was 2nd and short, and he leaned in just enough. And that's just, I've seen it already, just a few plays he's out there, and that's been the difference, really. You know, this young man quarterback has great instincts. You're seeing it play out here to this point.
And Narduzzi, the junior, in the pistol. Got 2 wide to the right, 1 wide left. And taking those orders in from the sideline and Coach Adams. Kornick behind him in that pistol formation. Independence trying to, like we said, try to get some momentum back on the offensive side of the ball. Snap out. Narduzzi looking, going to throw back foot. Tipped in. Scary play there. The ball was intended for Rocco Wrestler, one of the captains on this Independence team, just over his head, and there was 4 other white jerseys hanging out. That could have been very bad.
Yeah, that was a dangerous play. They did get pressure. Although the block was picked up, there was pressure up the gut. And, you know, you see it there with Cuyahoga Heights, a very swarming defense. And they're going to attack. They're going to definitely attack. They got to be very, very careful.
And part of that play in AA you mentioned before about getting the ball out quick, that's what Independence is trying to do. They have 4 wide to the right here. Narduzzi looking. Going to cut up the middle. Trying to set through and brought down. Solid sack and tackle. 77 for Cuyahoga Heights. That is Henry Clay, the senior, gets inside for the first sack of the night. That's going to make it 3rd and a country mile for Independence.
Yeah, great read there by the defense. Great read by Clay. And just identify. And not only did he get the read, too, just taking the correct angle, getting right to the quarterback, and making a play from his position. That's a tough play to make, and Henry Clay putting in work and doing the job.
That makes it 3rd and 16 to be exact on their own 43-yard line for Independence. Narduzzi again in the shotgun. Kornecki's under pressure, throwing, it's tipped in, it is still on the ground and incomplete. Oh my goodness, David Greenfelder had the ball in his hands and just couldn't bring it down. He's one of the players that AA is playing with an injury out there for Cuyahoga Heights, and what amazing pressure. It looked like it was a screen play, but again, just off-balance throw, couldn't hold it down. It's 4th and long.
I think that's exactly what it was. You got a screaming defense right up the gut. Quarterback's trying to drop way, way back, just get just enough room to get to the receiver. But I know there's disappointment in not getting the interception, but the right play was made defensively, though. You got to be right there at the right spot, identified, and that's exactly what the defense did, forcing a punt.
No completion, solid pressure. That snap's high and wobbly. The quarterback able to catch it. He's going to punt it straight up, and that one's going to go next to nowhere. Ball popping out around the 45, between the 45 and the 50. We'll see how much further this gets walked back. And, yeah, they got to about the 48-yard line.
Oh, my.
That punt was about 9 yards double A.
That's tough. And what's amazing is you probably thought in a lot of those situations you're going to get that pressure, but they actually were setting up just for a return and still not able to get good footing on the punt.
Right.
So now second straight possession, Kyle, where Cuyahoga Heights is going to have really good field position to start their offense.
Haven't thrown a pass yet, but they've ran 9 times, gotten to the end zone once. The score is 7-0, 3:29 to go in this first quarter, and Cuyahoga Heights has the ball back near midfield. Connor up the middle, and solid tackle inside. Looks like one of the names in there again was Xavier Wilson. Going to hear his name a lot tonight, double A.
That's right. Wilson, Cheddar's in there as well. Well, I like, too, from both of those guys. I believe it was Wilson who did this. When he was looking to make the tackle, he's looking to strip the football, too. He's looking for that reach. And that's something that, looked on the NFL level, the Steelers were successful against the Browns in doing that. Not just making a tackle, but getting a strip as well.
Going to be a handoff this time to 10 from Cuyahoga Heights. He breaks through. Big run down to the 30, 20, 15, and that's where he goes down. Solid run there by Eddie Barrett from Cuyahoga Heights. Got brought down by Rocco Wrestler, and he was the last line of defense there, double A. That was almost for going in for 6.
And that's what makes, first off, Eddie Barrett is a phenomenal football player. Another one of the guys we're going to be mentioning on defense as well as the outside linebacker. But that's one of those situations where you're expected to dive, and you get it 80% of the time, but a counter at that time.
And hand off inside, Connor moving, trying to push that pile. Eventually gets swarmed by a bunch of blue jerseys in there, but a solid gain. Give him about 4 to 5 yards on the carry. Connor's had a pretty good evening so far.
And to go back to the big play by Barrett just a little bit ago, it's tough because you want to get like all 11 halves to the ball, but then you're also asking, you got to have some players stay home too, because you did think the ball was going one way, and it was, but then the counter, you bring it back the other way. That's why you had a wide open gap there.
And Sturgill handing to Connor again on the inside, trying to cut in and get Independence reading it well. He'll get maybe a yard if that on the carry. 3rd and about 4. They can still get the first down without having to score.
Opportunity here for the Blue Devils to get a stop, force a field goal here. Again, it's just got to be low. If you're defensive line, it's just got to be low. If you're the linebackers, play responsibility football and just go. Immediately identify the guard and just go.
And Connors again out the middle, trying to push forward to get the first down. He's right near it, and it looks like he may have gotten that. No, they're going to say he was just short. Well, nope. That ball is at the 2. It should be a first down, and it is.
Yeah.
The chain game playing tricks on me, double A.
No, I saw the official give the first down.
You are so observant. One more time for the folks at home. There it is. All right, 1st and goal. The 2-yard line, under a minute to go. Connors again out the middle, trying to push through. It's going to be a play at the line here. We're going to see no official word. And it looks like he is going to be just short. Down at the 1, only gain of 1. 10th carry already of this first quarter for Connors. He's got 42 yards in that lone touchdown as we have 30 seconds to go in the first frame. And Cuyahoga Heights looks like they're going to run at least one more play here.
Yeah, and the good thing for on their front, at least they don't see the clock.
Connors again inside. He's going to turn in and score. Touchdown, Cuyahoga Heights. A 1-yard score, his second touchdown rush of the first quarter. Connors gets in, and the score balloons to 13-0. The Red Wolves on top of the Blue Devils here on CVC TV.
Second straight drive, they've taken advantage of good field position. And, Cuyahoga Heights handling business, running the football, and getting a second touchdown.
Now, obviously, the man who scored a touchdown there, Francis Connors, getting credit. But how about the big run by Eddie Barrett earlier in that drive double A, kind of setting that situation up where you can get those short yardage plays, those runs. Connors can put his head down and make it. And 13-0 awaiting the extra point. That ball is knifed through and good. It's the score now 14-0. Cuyahoga Heights leading Independence here on CVC TV. And, of course, talking about the scoreboard, well, tonight's scoreboard sponsor is Independence Business Supply, an Ohio-owned and operated company with full-service facilities here in Cleveland, capable of shipping supplies anywhere in the U.S. IBS is a business products dealer, providing you with a single source for office products, facility and break room supplies, printing, promotional products, and furniture. Visit orderibs.com to learn more about our amazing products and amazing customer service. Well, not a single pass attempt for Cuyahoga Heights in that first quarter double A, and haven't really needed to. 14-0, clean football for Heights as far as the offense is concerned, and a 2-touchdown lead kind of as we move towards second quarter of play.
And all but 2 offensive plays have been dive plays.
Yeah.
And that's just, but this is what they do. This is what you expect, from a program, that has had unbelievable success. 27 years as the head coach, Coach Martin, for Cuyahoga Heights, and just the standard of excellence, on the football team. He also coaches the girls basketball team as well. Also the head coach there. If you're in the classroom, you probably have his algebra class too. So it's systems and organization and structure. Those are the things that he emphasized. That's what he looks for.
Is Coach Barton's team kicking it off, ball down to the 20-yard line. And trying to turn upfield, and a solid return now past the 30, near the 35. Korenick with the catch and return there, stopped and had to turn back up. And made a solid play to get some positive yardage out of that return.
Absolutely, and when you want a clean start, remember the first return was fumbled, and for the Blue Devils, they were able to get it back. Imagine how differently the game would have been then. But Independence, they have an opportunity. They did some good things in the first drive.
Yeah, a couple first downs.
Yeah, a couple first downs. They just got to build from that. I just want to see them, step to the throws, be confident, run the routes hard, and quickly get to the spots.
Well, Narduzzi back in that shotgun, 1st and 10 from his own 32. 12 seconds to go in this first quarter. Korenick on his hip, going to throw a quick out. That is a diving play, and it is incomplete. The ball dropped at the outside.
And that was just a bit low there.
Yeah, Menarchik just couldn't bring it in, unfortunately. They said incomplete, but the clock continued to run. Waiting to see the official ruling on the quarter here. Yeah, the ball was in Menarchik's hands, but just slipped through the middle.
Yeah.
And couldn't make that play to the ground, which resulted in the incompletion. Narduzzi now 1 for 4 on the evening. Has that 9-yard completion to Korenick there, but that's about it.
And I think they were working on the clock there too, so we got 5 seconds back on.
Yep. So that play didn't take 12 seconds. That was a quick throw it out. But, I thought I was losing track of time literally with that. As it is 2nd and 10 on the 32. 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Narduzzi in the shotgun. He's got 2 wide right, 2 wide left. A couple of tight ends in the game as well. Take the snap. Gonna look. Narduzzi in trouble again. Breaks through that first one. Has to cut inside and get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard, if that. Tough sledding for Narduzzi, and that's how we end the first quarter. About a yard on that scramble.
Eddie Barrett, 3 in the quarter. Eddie Barrett, I know technically he's not going to be credited for the sack, but his pressure and identifying and being aggressive right up the gut, number 10, made the difference there defensively.
Definitely phenomenal. As we head into the second frame, the score is 14-0. The Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves leading the Independence Blue Devils here on your CVC TV game of the week, of course. Good to remind you guys that we are in beautiful Independence, Ohio tonight. at Alumni Field and Stephen in Scozen Stadium. Beautiful field, Double A.
Beautiful field, nice track, a blue track.
Yeah, blue track for the Blue Devils, right?
Yeah, blue track. And good luck finding a seat here on both sides.
Filled up pretty quick, yeah, for both teams. You can tell it's a rivalry game, and there's a lot, of course, that goes into this. We talked about Independence coming into the game, of course, 0-5, but when you get into CVC play, it changes your whole mindset.
Absolutely. You know, when you're in division and you're in conference, you obviously have the opportunity to right the ship, you know, and that's what you want to do. And, you know, Independence has that opportunity. They're a good football team, you know, and, you know, don't look at the record and be like, oh, I don't know. They're a really good football team. You know, they just have to believe in themselves and prove it on the field. But they've done some good things here tonight.
And we talked about it before, both teams, lots of injuries. 13 players out tonight from both sides combined. It's been a pattern, unfortunately, we've seen as Narduzzi takes a snap, looking, still going to throw back, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Cuyahoga Heights, brought down just inside the 30-yard line. That was Anthony Katsunzis who made that interception, and what a play. Back foot throw from Narduzzi and just couldn't find the person open.
Yeah, and that's where the rust, you know, kicks in. It's just, you know, you're trying to go through your reads and, you know, it's just, but that went right over to the defense, just right there.
So that's going to be fantastic field position now for Cuyahoga Heights on the Independence 32-yard line. One play into the second quarter, 11:52 to go in this first half, and Heights trying to make this a 3-score game on this drive. Maybe a little bit of wildcat here, possibly. And it's going to be a throw out. And actually, no, Sturgill came back, made the throw, and that was incomplete. First pass of the game we've seen from Sturgill so far tonight, Double A.
Yeah, 0 for 1. In the first pass attempt, 11:48 in the second quarter. You know, so, you know, defense, first off, defense was ready for it, and Cuyahoga Heights wanted to get like a little surprise start there.
A little something different. We've seen straight runs literally every single drive so far to this point. Again, looking at about 16 rushes to only one pass for this offense so far tonight.
That's why it's a tough matchup for the defensive backs.
Yep. Connors in that short backfield. He'll take the snap and the handoff inside. Actually going to keep it. What a job by Sturgill, fooling everybody, including us. Sturgill with a great option play there, driving inside, down inside the 20. Bernhardt got there at the end, Double A.
Yeah, sorry about that, Kyle. That's why defensively, you're the DB. Defensive back, this is a tough matchup. If you're a defensive back, tough matchup. You know, linebackers, you kind of, run responsibility, but DBs, like, most of the time, the action's not going your way. So it's been 2 plays. First off over the top, that time on the outside, where you have been challenged at second level.
That's going to be handed out. Barrett now on the left side, trying to hit that corner. He gets caught. Solid tackle on the outside. Yeah, Charlie Meyer got there at the end there and made that big tackle, and Barrett tried to hit that corner in the edge again and try to turn it into 6 Double A.
Absolutely, and defensively, that's something that Independence, they're trying to contain and work on and, fix.
Speed on that outside as it's 2nd and 3 from the 6. Cuyahoga Heights threading again. Handoff, Connors inside, still on his feet, barrels through into the end zone. Touchdown, Cuyahoga Heights. Francis Connors with his 3rd rushing touchdown of this first half. And it's now 20-0. Red Wolves on top of Independence.
And you try to tackle him at the legs. You're not bringing the wrestler down. You're not going to bring him down. And, he runs hard, and he leans his shoulders in and gets the job done.
An impressive run there from Connors. 12 carries on the night, 49 yards, and now 3 rushing touchdowns. He's been the bully back, as we like to call it, again, where he's just been going inside between the tackles and making some big plays. Extra point is down, kick is up, and that one is good. The score now with 11 minutes and 8 seconds to go in this first half, 21-0. Cuyahoga Heights on top of Independence here on CVC TV. And, of course, the presenting sponsor for us, Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery, Drs. Keith Schneider Don Lewis and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. That is www.ohsurgery.com. Of course, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. Also a reminder that tonight's scoreboard sponsor, Independence Business Supply, an Ohio-owned and operated company with full-service facilities in Cleveland, capable of shipping supplies anywhere in the U.S. IBS, a business products dealer with providing you a single source of office products, facility and break room supplies, printing, promotional products, and furniture. Visit orderibs.com to learn more about our amazing products and amazing customer service. All right, AA. Cuyahoga Heights, one pass attempt, but they've been dominant on the ground. 3-touchdown lead as we start to get into the meat of the second quarter here. Independence, this is a key drive for them, I would think.
Absolutely, and how will the doozy, how will quarterback, how will he respond and get back? What's going to happen if he is not able to get that first read? And what the Cuyahoga Heights, what they're doing, they're pressuring, they're coming out aggressively every single play now. So how will that response, be made for the Blue Devils?
And the kickoff is all the way back and taken in. Turning inside, still on his feet. Big return coming for Independence. Saw a return there by Rocco Wrestler. 18 yards up to almost the 35-yard line, 34. So Independence, decent starting field position.
And that's where it starts. Get into good field position, letting your special teams set things up. And, you have that opportunity here, just to go and make things happen. One of the things that Coach Martin and the coaching staff for Cuyahoga Heights, they're looking at, they know that Independence has a phenomenal spread offense here. So they're watching for, different formations. They're watching different motions and things. What we have not seen to this point on the Independence side is the different motions on the offense until right now.
And again, it's going to be key by Narduzzi. Turns inside, solid hit and brought down. And that was, again, Francis Connors on the defensive end making a big play on Narduzzi, who kept that, again, fake and tried to get some space up the middle and just got rocked.
Your leaders making plays offensively and defensively, but you can't have the high snaps. We see it every week, the high snaps, in our schedule creates for a tough situation in the backfield. So even when you are able to get the motions in there like you were in the last play, the high snap interrupts the timing.
There's one thing that, again, Coach Adams talking about is trying to get some run game going, but it hasn't been good so far. That ball way over the head of his intended receiver. Narduzzi was looking there for Sam Crooks, 6'4", wide receiver, a junior. If you're going to go high, go to the big kid, but he just went a little bit too high there, third and long coming.
And unfortunately, the secondary was about a foot or two away from getting the interception that time. That's the worst place to throw an interception is on your behind. You don't want that either. It's just off the pressure.
Now, Coach Adams did mention, too, of course, that Narduzzi's still trying to get that rhythm. He missed, of course, the first handful of games this year with that injury to his finger and trying to work his way back and get that rhythm he had in through last season. It's now 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 on the 34-yard line. Narduzzi stepping on the pocket, deep throw down the middle, had a receiver, but just a bit too far, incomplete.
Yeah, Barnhart, number 4 on the scene. And I would have liked for him to keep going full speed there. The ball, it would have been close to getting there, but, yeah, it's just, again, the timing, it's off to Cuyahoga Heights mentioned, they don't pass the ball much. We're not seeing a lot of runs, hardly any on the Independence side of things.
That was what Coach Adams wanted to do today. He wanted to establish some sort of run game, but it's hard when you're losing a lot of options on the line. Almost block kick, that punt's up and near midfield. It's going to bounce and take an Independence bounce. Now it goes sideways, and now they're going to fall on that. Got AA just inside the 40-yard line or outside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, at that point, your Cuyahoga Heights get away. You don't get that initial bounce. Ain't no lovely second bounce. Get out of there. Let your offense go to work.
That's right. They will go to work at about the 41-yard line. They're on 41. And it has been the tale of the game so far. Just one pass attempt, but there's been a lot of movement on the ground. Cuyahoga Heights has been able to run as a team for over 100 yards in this first half, and they've managed to get 3 touchdowns courtesy of Francis Connors. This time Sturgill going to throw the ball out left side. It is through the hands and incomplete of his intended receiver. That was Barrett. Eddie Barrett just a little bit out of his reach. Second and long coming up.
Yeah, Wilson, number 40 on coverage defensively. And they tried. He is everywhere. He's all over the place. Defensively, special teams, take care of work. But, the second time their offensive drive has started, trying to get that play on the outside, hasn't worked. Look at the bright side. It also didn't work in the NFL level either. First play of the game.
Pitch to the outside. Turning upfield. Big turn and a big carry. Hit on the bounce on the other side of the 40. Solid run there by Zick with the, again, pitch to the outside. Hitting that edge. And a huge flip of the field there for Cuyahoga Heights in the first down.
Yeah, Zick number 8. Listed the slot position, but their slot players, they do it all. They're expected to block. They're expected to, take care of business with the football. They're expected to run, catch, all that stuff. So, multi-talented athletes and the speed, too, from that young man.
Yeah, Zick and Barrett both have that ability. As Sturgill going to look to the right side throw. It is caught. Solid catch on the outside by Cartoonis, who gets solid about 8 yards or so. First completion of the day.
So now a different focus, right? Now, like the initial, first 3 drives were mostly the dive plays. Vast majority of them were dive plays. And now strategy's a little different now, opening up the defense, maybe possibly, to get the dive re-emerged, but with the defense spread out.
Yep, Connors lined up in that short back position. He's going to get the ball. Cutting inside. Connors gets that first down and more. Spun down at the 25-yard line. Francis Connors moves the chains. Another first down. About 8 yards on a carry.
So sometimes, Kyle, even when you're aligned correctly, and defensively they weren't. You got the guys crunched in there, from different formation, the closed-in formation. Even with that, as a defender, all right, I've already seen a pass play. I already seen a couple plays on the outside. I'm more alert now on the outside, and you forget, oh, man, you got the dive play inside again.
The Sands are now in the backfield. And it looks like Sturgill's going to keep it. He's going to turn the corner, stand his feet, then get tripped up and brought down. Solid help on the outside there. I think that was Carson Howard who actually got the stop. Sturgill still was able to turn that corner, but the extra effort from Carson Howard, the senior there, Double Way, to make that tackle helped stop Cuyahoga Heights.
Yeah, that needed to happen. If Howard did not make that play, you're probably looking at a first down and potentially a touchdown on the Cuyahoga Heights side of things. So great find and great play made by Howard.
He sends it back there again. He will take the handoff, cutting inside, working through, and getting near that first down marker, maybe a yard or two short. And Derek DeSanza with another carry, his 4th.
So, interesting point of the game here now, for both of these teams. This 3rd and 2 coming up. Cuyahoga Heights, obviously an opportunity to really, put it on here on this 3rd down, what they decide to do. The Blue Devils have worked hard defensively on this drive. So, if they can get the stop here, definitely change some things on the scoreboard.
And Baron Connors back there. It's going to be Connors turning inside, pushing through the bully back as he's been called. Still pushing. There's a flag that comes in late. Or did the ball come out?
That's the fumble bag.
That is the fumble bag. And Independence saying they have it. We'll see the official ruling. And it is going to be Blue Devil football. Could this be a turning point in this first half? Cuyahoga Heights driving down the field. It's the sure-handed Connors that can't hold the ball.
And an interesting turn of events on that front. And, just the second effort is sometimes the dangers of just keep driving. You never know what's going to happen inside a big pile. And, strips and ripping the football off, and well coached defensively in there to make that play. Excellent job there. One of the additions to the coaching staff for the Blue Devils, Matt Burns, who formerly was the head coach over at Parma High, and he's come over here on this staff, has worked with defense, and that's some of the things they've kind of been teaching with the Blue Devils.
New Maddox went to high school with him. solid guy. Knows what he's doing down there. It's going to be 1st and 10 now for Independence. Narduzzi looking, going to throw out. This one is caught, I believe it was. Solid catch on the outside there by Crooks.
Ball was a tad bit behind, but just enough. C was able to identify it. Crooks was able to identify it. All hands grabbed it in and put it in a good spot.
Solid catch there by Crooks, too, able to come down and make that play. 1st and 10, gain of about roughly 12 yards. Narduzzi again in the shotgun. And looks like the running back did move his feet there. And that, of course, was Wilson. And that'd be the first penalty for Independence tonight if that stands. And it will.
Again, after getting a big play, Independence, you just try to control those emotions. You don't want plays like that, obviously, at any point, but after good momentum.
And now 1st and 15 is Narduzzi looking, going to throw out to the right side. That ball over his outstretched receiver's hand and incomplete. That was Wrestler out there that just could not get out there to make the catch. Going to be 2nd and 15 now from their own 17 with 6:50 to go in this first half. Independence trailing by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Narduzzi, he's trying to get back into it, as you talked about, Kyle. And one of the things is just having control of the football. In the past, it looked like he knew where he wanted the football to go, and it sailed on him.
It did. It's now, as mentioned, going to be 2nd and 15, 17-yard line. Independence coming off that fumble recovery on defense. Narduzzi going to keep it, cut the middle. He's got some room to run. Narduzzi cutting inside near the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. Nice little 10-yard run at the middle for the quarterback, Dominic Narduzzi.
Good run there, Dom, and that's just handling business there. The formations, the different looks, the different formations, and the assignments being kept there. So, critical 3rd and 7. See how both of these teams can handle, all spread out. Got 3 receivers at the top of your screen.
Narduzzi trying to draw some defenders off sides to make this a little bit more manageable, but some discipline coming into play now for the Red Wolves.
And that was after the first drive where you had a couple of those encroachment penalties.
Yeah, multiple offsides as Narduzzi this time ready to take the snap. He'll drop back and he'll look to his right, going to cut back to the outside, back foot, going to throw it down at the feet. And, of course, the coach is in the booth for the Red Wolves arguing intentional grounding, and the flag does come in late.
Yeah, I think he was still in the box, Kyle.
And there was no receiver in the area either. It wasn't a running back on the screen or anything. It was a lineman that was over there. That could mean this could be a loss of down and some more moving backwards, and a tough punt could be on the way for Independence.
Yeah, and that's huge, too. And the big part, as you mentioned at the end, is you still lose the down. Now, maybe if you want to look at it one way, the next worst thing to do would be to throw an interception and turn the football over. So that was, just one step at a time. But, again, excellent pressure created all night by Cuyahoga Heights.
Take that penalty back down 4th and 12 and the 20. And that snap is high and threw in the back of the end zone. He'll still try and kick it away, and he does. What a save by Independence. That could have been a nightmare. Ball does take a Cuyahoga Heights bounce.
Fall on it.
He had about the 32, 33-yard line, but that could have been some serious trouble. Great job out there for Independence to kick that ball away because, that was in the back of the end zone. There was about 2 yards separating that ball from that white line.
This is the second straight week we have seen on CVC TV a high snap in that area that we thought, we're in danger of seeing a safety. And this week the punter was able to get something out of it. Remember last week the quarterback, Jackson Diller, last week for Brooklyn, he was able to.
He was turning upfield and getting first downs or completing passes because he was
incredible football,
crazy stuff with that.
Out of broken plays.
And again, Independence probably considering themselves lucky on this one. That could have been really bad, but instead Cuyahoga Heights has the ball on their side of the field instead. Sturgill rolling out to his left, turns the corner. He's got some room to run, still on his feet, and eventually gets out of bounds after a solid turn of the corner. Gives Sturgill about 9 on the run.
Love his decision making there. Love how in the moment he identified, like, you're going to take off and go, don't second guess. Just take off. Just get it going. And that's exactly what he did. And this offense is operating with the 2nd and 1 coming up.
5:40 to go in this first half. 2nd and 1 from the Independence 26-yard line for Cuyahoga Heights, up 21-0 and trying to expand the lead even more. Sturgill now in the shotgun. Will turn, look to his right, gonna throw, quick pass, it is caught. It's Connors, he turns inside and should have enough for that first down.
Able again, get a good find. The ball was landed only where Connors can get the ball, so great ball thrown there, and was able to turn up the field just enough. Actually, good spot, really. He didn't really have to turn up the field at all. He was already in first down position and secured it.
Yeah, very short yardage situation. They only needed about 1. They got 5, and that's going to move the chains. Now on the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Red Wolves. He sends on the backfield, take the carry. He's going to get brought down after a short gain. Gets about the 19, and that was about it. Give him 2. So DeSanza just couldn't push forward. It'll be 2nd and long.
Try to get that drive there now. Where the Blue Devils do have confidence defensively is the red zone. And obviously, the previous drive, they created the fumble in the red zone. So they feel confident here. If they can, once again, maintain defensively, then you give yourself an opportunity still, on the scoreboard.
Yep, 2nd and 8. 4:30 to go in this first half. Ball's on the 19-yard line. Pitch out to the outside. Barrett trying to work his way through. He does make a man miss. Barrett still going through and turning the corner. That could have been a negative play instead. There were credits due to Eddie Barrett, the senior, who turned the corner and actually got some positive yards out of that.
Yeah, and I know Howard, who's out there, number 2.
Howard on the stop for Independence.
He wants. It's like, man, had it there in that backfield.
That's a speed though, Barrett. You talked about that before, yeah. I mean, it's great speed to the outside, and yeah, Carson Howard. The outside linebacker for Independence got there in time, but just took a tough angle and couldn't outstretch to make that tackle. So 3rd and 4. Connor on the inside trying to dive in, and I believe he should be short.
Getting that confidence from the defense. A good battle though up front between the offensive line and the defensive line. So, that's been a battle, but I don't think, Kyle, that was a gain on the play, maybe a yard.
If that, as it's going to be 4th and a long 3 on the 14-yard line for Cuyahoga Heights. In a situation where, the way your defense is played, the way your offense is going, why not go for it deep in Independence territory? And with that, I believe we're going to see our first timeout of this first half. That's going to come from Independence. They have 2 remaining, so 3:42 to go in this first half. 21-0 is the score. Cuyahoga Heights on top of Independence so far. But again, Cuyahoga Heights threatening. Can Independence make back-to-back big plays on the defensive end to hold the Red Wolves out of the end zone?
And that's why I thought that was a good time out there for the Blue Devils. Identify what you're trying to do. You almost, in a way, you treat it like the end of a basketball game where you go out there, you see the look that you see what the offense is going to run, and it's like, all right, let's get a timeout. And, because especially in the first half, to be perfectly honest, you're not really, you're not saving timeouts for, clock purposes for the most part in the first half. So, use it for strategy, and the Blue Devils have that opportunity here after they see the look.
Looks like the student section brought a speaker and threw in playing music too of their own.
I see. I was like, what's going on in my headphones? Headset.
Got a couple flashlights out there too. Good showing, as you mentioned before, from both sides. You can tell this is definitely a rivalry game. These guys not separated by very much as far as distance is concerned, Cuyahoga Heights and Independence.
I thought Peter and Jim were jamming in our production truck downstairs.
Now, it's not to say they're not. There's still a pretty good chance they are. We just can't hear that.
Uh-huh.
But we, of course, you at home, we can hear the ears the entire time.
Yeah, they'll probably say something in our headset very shortly.
I didn't know Jim was that big of a fan of the Barbie movie, but I guess we found it out pretty quick that he was. So.
Hey, don't hate. Barbie was a great movie.
Oh, boy. Different talk for a different day. Cuyahoga Heights now is actually going to take their own timeout.
And they had to because they were a man short. Only had 10 guys out there.
10 guys on the field. So flip that over now. First charge timeout of this first half for the Red Wolves. Now both teams with 2 remaining as we tick down.
But again, it goes to show you, Kyle, how important and how big this game is, with the full capacity crowd on both sides. The Blue Devils have an opportunity here really to, get the stop and they can get something sequence going offensively, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, they flirted with midfield one time.
They really do have a whole speaker in the student section. That
is a Bluetooth speaker.
Yes, it is. Right in front of us here in the press box.
Yep. This is a plan, I feel, from the
this is amazing.
section. You don't see that too often.
This is one of the best student sections that we've covered. This is amazing.
I've heard of taking matters into your own hands.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I love it.
Do they have to be cued by the ref when, like, they know, like, certain, they can't play, like, while the action's in there? I don't know if that applies to Bluetooth speakers in the student section.
I'm going to trust the one student down with the blue afro to be able to make that decision to turn that music off. As again, it's 4th and short. Man in motion is Barrett. Sturgill looking to his right. He's going to go up the middle. He's going to turn inside, trying to get that first down. Cuts in at the 10. And that looks like it's very close. And they're going to say it is going to move the chains for a first down. Play at the line of scrimmage there and turning inside with Sturgill. Got those extra yards he needed, just enough to get that first down for the Red Wolves.
Yeah, that tough play on both sides. I thought that was well defended, but Cuyahoga Heights, perfect play call, just enough in decision-making there to get the ball just enough and knowing where you are in the field to get the first down.
You're worried. You saw, of course, Barrett in motion, too. When he's been put in motion like that, he's usually gotten the ball, but Sturgill will end up keeping it. Now we're talking about 1st and 10, and should be 1st and goal as Connors gets the carry inside, cuts down to about the 5. Solid run there by Connors.
One thing to watch for, too, as I failed to use Kyle's equipment there.
So we have a pair of binoculars up here. AA actually turned them the opposite way to look through.
I did. I was trying to see here. I can't see anyway.
Gotta get him his glasses. 2nd and goal
Left
from the
home,
5.
my bad.
Oh, we'll talk about it. Those on mail order for you. As the handoff inside, turning in and a score. What a run inside by Zick. He gets the end zone for a touchdown. Again, that trickery, 5 yards, and now Cuyahoga Heights balloons their lead to 27-0. Cutting inside in motion, and Zick able to get in for the score.
Yeah, and the speed was there too. And actually, what I was looking at was here on the near sideline, Xavier Wilson for the Blue Devils. He is out right now with an injury. The trainer's attending to him, but again, the injury count adding up for this Blue Devils football team.
If you're keeping track of the tally at home, that's 8 Blue Devils that are currently out of the game, 7 pregame, and now one of the guys that Coach circled for us and said Xavier Wilson is going to be all over the field, running back, linebacker. He's going to do a lot on the sideline. The extra point is up, and that one is good. 28-0 to score. Now Cuyahoga Heights on top of Independence with 2:23 to go in this first half.
But they had to work for that drive. They had to work for that touchdown. And, that did not come easy. And that was a couple of stops or, that came down to a 4th down, and they were able to get it. But, the Red Wolves, they had to work for that touchdown, but were able to get it and take care of business, get the job done.
Yes, now Independence said we'll have a little over 2 minutes in this second quarter to try and get some sort of response. We mentioned AA. They've gotten in midfield once. And you haven't been able to cross that line and make some plays on the other side in Red Wolf territory. I know, obviously, Coach Barton's thrilled about that, but Coach Adams, who was hoping to try and get some rushing game involved here, obviously affected by that with Wilson being out on the sideline, one of the guys he was going to lean on along with Jack Koronek. But we've seen at this point, when they're having some positive plays, quarterback Dominic Narduzzi making them with his legs too.
Absolutely, but the issue has been the aggressiveness of the defense of Cuyahoga Heights. And, once they got over the encroachment situation for the first drive, they've been well-disciplined in identifying their assignments and creating that pressure up front. And they've handled business.
They really have. His kick is underway. The line drive taken out. And a solid tackle there by 17. That was Gavin Chamberlain.
So I think we have our answer. They cannot play the music during the action.
Yes.
So during the action, you won't hear a thing.
And if you are wondering, either at halftime or after the game, I am going to go down to that sideline and see if I can talk to that kid and see where he bought that speaker.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I could use that.
It's nice. It lights up, too.
After the video AA shares on pregame, he usually does go into the back in that big yellow truck and decides to dance a little bit. No one's judging him by any means necessary, as it's 2:18 to go. On the their own 30, handoff on the left side, solid tackle. Head full of steam for Cuyahoga Heights. That was Kyle Porter on the tackle. Run there by Koronek for about 3.
Yeah, and really you want to get on the scoreboard and, with 2 minutes to go here. But the operation of the offense kind of switched things up a little bit. Even here, was you want to see maybe a bit of a run or play action.
You want to see positive plays. I think the most important part is that ball is thrown to the outside, and it's just a little bit short. Again, back foot throw, trying to get Menarchik out there, and just could not get the ball to him.
Timing, and just first off getting the ball up, and having different quarterbacks start due to injury. 4 quarterbacks in total this year already.
Yeah.
So you think from a receiving standpoint, that's 4 different guys you have to adjust your routes for. If you're the offensive line, it's 4 different guys you have to adjust your blocking for. The quarterbacks that are in, they don't play the same style. It's not the same rhythm and uniqueness, so it's tough, and they're adjusting as well.
3rd and 7 now. Narduzzi, big drop, looking, he's going to roll out to his left. Being chased down and eventually getting hit out of bounds. And that was Barrett who got in there and made the play. Eddie Barrett playing on defense too at that speed. Loss of about a yard or so. And Narduzzi was under pressure from the get-go there, AA. Big drop and just had no time.
And they've had success. Well, Cuyahoga Heights has had success all game long defensively, flushing the inside. And even if they're trying to set up the screen, that's being covered too. The first option is being covered seemingly every play.
Yep, Koronek going to boot this one again on the punt. That one's a high arcing punt out of our view and dropping back in. Fair catch taken by Cuyahoga Heights. 1:26 to go. Zig able to hold that one tight down at their own 39-yard line. Now the question is for the Red Wolves, they go for another possible score here. They got 1:26 to go in this first half. They've got 2 timeouts remaining and a 28-0 lead over the Blue Devils.
Well, I think this is where it's important now too, because should Cuyahoga Heights get another score, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, you enter into a running clock territory in the second half. I think this defense, there's a chance here that you play well enough. You can get something on the board, but you want to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, this time it was DeSanza up the middle. He'll get about roughly 3 yards or so.
So this is where, if you're the defense, I'm telling my defensive backs, I'm telling my safeties, I'm telling my corners, be careful. Be careful, be aware of what's going on here, because it's very easy to be settled in like there's a minute left in the game, just run the ball and go to halftime. But don't be surprised if something has popped up over the top.
Yep, 50 seconds to go in this first half. Sturgill going to keep it himself and cut back outside and get past the 50 for a first down to the 48 of Independence.
And that option play, that's been a critical play as well. The RPO, just getting that identified and getting that open field now. So you got 35 seconds left.
No rush, it seems, from the Red Wolves here to try and push through. Just kind of running their normal offense, staying in rhythm, not trying to push another ball in the end zone unless they can break one away from their normal offense. It is 1st and 10 on the 49-yard line of Independence.
Good to see Wilson back in the game as well, number 40.
And there you go, a knee taken by Sturgill. With that, they're going to go into halftime. The score, 28-0. The Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves on top of the Independence Blue Devils here on your CVC TV game of the week. Going to take a quick break. On the other side, we'll have stats in the first half and get you ready for second half action here from beautiful Independence, Ohio. The score again 28-0. Cuyahoga Heights on top of Independence. Back after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Mr. Noah Hamrick, with Assistant Director Grace Brown and Drill Team Advisor Chelsea Kovar, we proudly present the Cuyahoga Heights Mighty Marching Red Wolves. The Cleveland Guardians ain't nothing but a heartache, and the Browns loss to the Steelers ain't nothing but a mistake. But the Red Wolves marching band is so good that they'll have you saying, I want it that way. Feeling good on a Friday night. The Marching Red Wolves music sets the mood just right. And like One Direction sings when they're in town, nobody can drag me down. There they are, folks, your 2023 Cuyahoga Heights Mighty Marching Red Wolves. Go Red Wolves!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Independence High School Marching Band. Tonight, we present the opener of our first show of the 2023 season. Color guard routines were written by seniors Kalia Shumay, Leo Gallucci, Isabella Rose, and Emma Johnson, and sophomore Atlas Berry. We start with the 1976 release of the American rock band Kansas. Here is Carry On, Wayward Son. And now, please welcome our 7th and 8th grade middle school band to the field. The middle school band joins the IHS marching band in their performance of Danger Zone. And now we would like to bring back the Cuyahoga Heights Marching Band to join us on the field. Both bands will be performing our next song, which brought some much-needed cowbell to 1976. Released by the American rock band Blue Oyster Cult, here is Don't Fear the Reaper. The IHS Color Guard is under the direction of Miss Alex Sobchak. Assistant Band Director is Mrs. Kimberly Broussard, and the band is under the overall direction of Mr. Michael Green. Thank you to the Independence Middle School bands and the Cuyahoga Heights Marching Band for joining us on the field tonight. Don't forget to stick around after the game for the IHS Marching Band Lights Out show.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your eyes to midfield and watch the IHS cheerleaders perform their dance. Let's give a round of applause to the cheerleaders.
Welcome back, folks. Halftime. Here again in beautiful Independence, Ohio. The score, 28-0. The visiting Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves leading the Independence Blue Devils here on CVC TV. It's your game of the week, and an awesome halftime performance from both sides. The bands playing together at one point. Saw some cheerleaders out there too. AA got a full halftime show. Felt like it was sponsored by Pepsi. What was going on out there with that? Yeah.
That was a very, very, very active halftime show. Great job overall. Great job.
It was awesome to see. And kind of recapping that first half, AA. And the key, obviously, we can look at the different stats. Both teams with a turnover each, fumble on Cuyahoga Heights side, interception from Indy. But at the end of the day, 243 yards as a team on the ground for the Red Wolves in that first half. That led to a recipe of that 28 points being put up there.
Yeah, and that's their bread and butter, and that's what they do. And we saw it for the first few plays, the dive play, just right up the gut. Different variations of it, though, but the basis of it, right up the gut there. Connors was being involved there, Francis Connors, one of the main guys in there. But every once in a while, and it happened the first couple drives. You had that switch up. You had an outside pitch. You had a counter play. And then, so that led to some big scores. And then they opened it up a little bit with a couple of passing attempts. But mix that in with, let's get some RPO in there. Let's get an outside option in there too. And it's been an absolute running clinic for Cuyahoga Heights. They have put together good work responding after what happened with them last week against Kirtland.
Yeah, 36 rushes in that first half as a team, only 4 pass attempts. And the 40 plays called by Cuyahoga Heights on offense. You can tell where the focus was.
The focus is there, and that wears you down as a defense. Because even when you are in the correct spot, quote unquote, you still got to make the play. You still got to make the hit, and it just wears you down. This is what Coach Al Martin, 27th season as the head coach of this football team. This is what they do. They've ran this offense pretty much the entire time, and it's a battle to stop these guys.
It really is. We have to see what Independence can do with the ball. They're going to start with the reception of this second half kickoff. And this is one of the more lively student sections we've seen.
Very lively. We actually, we don't have to get into detail, but we caught a little bit of their halftime speech too.
Yeah, well, normally that's safe for the locker room, but the student section decided to say it out loud out here, and they wanted everyone on their feet. No one's leaving the stands. We're all together with this.
Oh, yeah.
No matter the score, we're going to stay with it.
But and I think that's the key point, though, no matter the score, because it is a rivalry game, and for Independence, just to get back into it, I would like to see them, I know it may not be conducive with the scoreboard, but run the football a little bit. Run the football, kind of mix it up, and, get something on the board, and then voila, you may have something. But Cuyahoga Heights looked for today. They wanted a complete game. They wanted a game where they didn't throw interceptions, where they didn't fumble the football. And so far, they've been okay in that development. They did have one fumble in the second quarter, but to this point, if they go the rest of the half with playing clean football, they'll be in good shape.
Really will, as we're getting ready for that second half kickoff. Again, actually balanced. 11 passes, 11 rushes in that first half, too, for Independence, but just not a lot of yards. 33 total yards of offense in those 22 plays. That kickoff going down the right side, that ball bouncing and will go out of bounds. So a good starting field position on the way for the Blue Devils here at AA. Should move out, I want to say it's 35?
To 35, yeah.
How about that? Getting the hang of it now.
And remember this, it's 28-0. It's not 30 or 31-0 because, they didn't, they weren't really trying. Cuyahoga Heights really wasn't trying to,
put the pedal down to the metal at the end of that first half. They wanted to just kind of get, like I said, stay in that rhythm of offense, stay within themselves, not try to rush something, because that's where you could see a mistake.
Right. So it's not a running clock. And for Independence, the lack of a running clock is obviously good news where you don't have to hurry and rush offensively. You can do what you can to operate the offense. So hopefully with good field position start at 35, get some points on the board.
And starting near midfield means you get to hear the student section blast out of that wireless speaker. So there you go.
Purple lights. Purple lights. Again, the student section was challenged at halftime.
See if they can bring it as well as the team on the field, too. 1st and 10. At about 35. And off left side. Big run to the left gash into the 45 near the 43-yard line. What a run by Jack Kornick.
One of the senior leaders of this team for Independence. Good blocking up front, and that's how you attack. Get that burst inside there, go off tackle, and get to second level and take off.
And Kornick, 22 yards in the carry, easily the biggest play of the game so far for Independence as they start to work its way back. House of Pain playing in front of us now, too.
Absolutely.
There you go. Solid first play and a big run. I'm sure Coach Adams happy to see that. Now Danuzzi going to look and throw. Danuzzi throwing. This one has enough, and it is caught. Barnhart with the catch. Solid throw down to the 31, gain of 12, and another Independence first down.
Good find right immediately there off the play fake. And better protection up front, too. Cuyahoga Heights, they were aggressive in the first half defensively, especially on the inside. Good pickup blocks. And Independence on the move. 2 plays into this drive.
Solid catch by Sam Barnhart. That time there was enough on it. Narduzzi in the shotgun. Whistle blowing dead here. And the clock's still running through. 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. Independence trying to drive on the opening drive of this second half. Going to go left side, running and getting a slid down. That was Kyle Porter who got there for Cuyahoga Heights. Yeah, Narduzzi just tried to get about 3 to 4 on that one. Saw the pressure on his, again, front side, strong side, just cut in. Double A got about 3 to 4. Solid, positive play. We'll take that.
Absolutely, and he made a good decision. Didn't like what he saw at the first read. First read wasn't there. Hey, don't wait. Don't sit there and wait. That's what Cuyahoga Heights wants you to do. Once you sit back there and wait, just take off, get a few yards.
Yep, positive plays. That's what Independence has been able to do on this drive to open the second half. Throw out to the outside. That one is caught. Cutting back in, and a solid tackle out there by Heights. And that was a combo tackle there of Henry Clay and Francis Connors who got out there.
2 of the leaders on the defense. Henry Clay already making a few critical plays, and Clay has made some plays on the perimeter, and he's doing that as a defensive tackle out there, that 3-4 defense, and he can cover space.
Yeah, definitely can. Now as we're looking at a 3rd and 10 from the 31-yard line of Cuyahoga Heights. This is the first drive where we've seen Independence cross midfield in the game. Can they make something of it? Narduzzi in the shotgun again, looking right, throwing. He's got a man, but it's over and tipped it in, complete, off the helmet of the defender. That was, I believe, 24, Zach Unger, who was out there, junior. And the secondary, defensive secondary, that almost made that play, just went off his helmet.
Yeah, the coaching staff over there, Cuyahoga Heights, they're just like, hey, look around, the football's still in the air. But you also don't want a circus play either. You don't want, you don't want another receiver in there just popping up and making a circus play and scoring a touchdown either.
And it's been some positive momentum in this first drive for the second half for Independence. Can they keep it going? Long 4th down conversion attempt, down 4 scores. Definitely going to go for it. Danuzzi in the shotgun again, looking left, going to throw with confidence. Thrown, and it is incomplete. It was in and out of the hands of the receiver, and it was in triple coverage in there. That was Crooks, who just couldn't come down with it. Solid defense there in the end. Looked like number 3, Michael Norton, was in there as well.
It would have been a tough play, and he had the hands in there, but just not able to complete, the full completion of the play. Brought it down, but just not able to corral the football to make the completion.
Now the ball switching sides, turnover on downs, 9:24 to go in the third quarter. Cuyahoga Heights back with the ball on their own 32-yard line. Sturgill in the shotgun, looking to keep it himself. A lot of room in the middle of the field, but brought down. Solid tackle on the inside.
Yeah, good play there defensively. You know, after that rush in there, I think it's critical, obviously. You know, Cuyahoga Heights had that big stop there defensively. They were tested that previous drive. But how will they respond offensively? And, you know, again, if you're the linebackers, Independence, they need your leadership right now in conducting the defense.
And Connors in the defensive, or in the offensive backfield, I should say. Sturgill under center. And it's Connors breaks through. A big run for Connors past the 45 down to the 46-yard line. Francis Connors, solid 11-yard run and a first down. It seems like every time we call his name, no double A, it's either a touchdown or a first down for Connors.
And the way he lunges, you know, after that initial contact to basically force himself to get 2 additional yards. You know, for first, that was amazing. Just to see there in that last play. Just really amazing to see.
17th carry of the night for Connors. He's got 81 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns in this game.
That's what that wrestling will do for you. You find ways to use your body.
And the toughness in there, too, as Connors again with the carry, still pushing forward and gets a solid gain of about 6 to 7 yards.
Just creating that traffic. You know, he has a unique way, Connors, of creating traffic. You know, when there's seemingly, it looks like to us, like there's nothing there, like, oh, just go up in the gap and run into a wall. He's breaking that wall apart and gaining extra yardage.
And now we're going to see switch and DeSanza in the backfield. Cuyahoga Heights. And it is DeSanza, cuts up the middle. He's going to have that first down and then some down to the 42, 41-yard line, 42 they're going to say. And that's going to move the chains again for another Heights first down.
What's amazing, though, too, if they would have decided offensively to go to the option, go to the perimeter, that was open, too. So, like, that was – and that might have been the safer play. But instead they said, hey, we've had success up the gut. Let's keep it going. Let's be physical and, you know, get the first down.
So here we go. 1st and 10, 42-yard line of Independence for Cuyahoga Heights. Sturgill going to keep it again on that play action and then the fake and the handoff on the inside. 8 more yards for Sturgill.
So even as a defender, you may be thinking, or even as coaches, you're thinking like, okay, now they're going to go inside, you know, or, you know, like they didn't go outside last time. But then this time, they go outside. And it's just the mind, it's so many mind games that they play with you. It's defensively, it becomes frustrating.
Second and 3 from
the student section is
35-yard line.
Unbelievable.
Going to give you a pitch down, Sturgill dishing out, turning the corner and brought down, but after the first down, solid pitch out there on the option to Devin Zick.
The speed from Zick is great. I mean, just to see a lot of these guys, every person that has touched the football for the Red Wolves, they have phenomenal speed, especially at second level, and it just comes out of nowhere. It's the moment they get the football, they just take off. So even when you have a slower developing movement in the backfield, you're the linebackers. You take one angle, and then out of the blue, they cut sharply upfield.
And Zeke tonight, 4 carries, 59 yards, and the other rushing touchdown as Sturgill going to throw the ball, and that one is incomplete. Fletcher Sturgill was looking for Eddie Barrett, but just couldn't get that ball enough juice on it. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 now from the Independence 24-yard line.
Yeah, Sturgill, he just wasn't able to get a clean snap.
His arm's kind of cold, too. Only 5 pass attempts tonight because they've been running the ball so effectively. You haven't really had to throw the ball too much.
That's a good way to put it, too. And you know, talk about, like, rhythm. And you establish that running the football, but sometimes also passing the ball. Only 5 attempts.
6:16 to go in this third quarter. Handoff inside. And that was DeSanza who got the carry. Derek DeSanza inside getting about 3 to 4 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd and manageable, as some folks would say.
Yeah, we'll a critical turning point here, 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7. Yeah, like, we're going to see here how the line, I'm intrigued of how the lines are going to drive Watch the perimeter, too, if you're the defense.
Sands in the game again. This time it's a pass. On the outside, that ball is low. Did it hit the ground or was it caught? And it looks like they're waving it's going to be a catch. And it is. Katusis with the catch. They're going to call that a completion, gain of about 5.
Yeah, not enough for first. What's amazing, though, is quarterback's able to throw it low enough to perhaps get the completion, but it's an interesting play there.
Might have to check the replay double A on that one. Not sure if that one bounced or not. I was looking through my bifocals over here, and so that one hit the ground a little bit. But nevertheless, 4th and short. Independence with a chance to get a big stop, can they? Now Connors inside. He powers through down to the inside the 15 to the 12. When in doubt, give it to Francis Connors. 8 yards and a first down.
This team, they run so hard that even guys who are not getting the football, they look like they are, and they fall to the ground. They get tackled to the ground like they have the football. So, and they're like 5, 6, 7 yards deep.
And they're also not eating the clock, too, when you run the ball as effectively as they have, as it continues to tick down. Under 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 11. They can still get a first down without scoring, Ken Heights. And breaking to the outside, trying to turn the corner, and eventually gets out of bounds.
Connors, the ball carrier for Heights.
Was Connors who pushed through, and you're almost waiting for him. That's the first time we saw him bounce one to the outside. That way he's normally in between the tackles, but this time Connors showing off some of that speed.
He is. I would like to tuck that football in just a little bit more. It was a little bit loose, from the naked eye here, but the speed, the elusiveness was all there, for Connors. Hasn't been, all game. 3 touchdowns here?
3 touchdowns. He just eclipsed 100 yards on the ground, too. 20 carries, 102 yards, and those 3 scores double A, and possibly looking for a 4th. Snap taken. This is DeSenza up the middle, cutting inside. He's close to the goal line, and they're going to say he was short.
But it should be a new set of downs, though, Kyle.
Definitely should, because they could get that first down if they got inside that one. And, yeah, they're going to give him 1st and goal.
Just offense just operating. Just when you see it's smooth. When you see offenses like this, and Kirtland's in there too, like just the operation is just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, 1st and goal from the inside the 1 yard line. Sansa gets the carry, turns inside. Independence collapsing with that defensive line. They get the stop. Looks like they did. I haven't seen a sign yet. And there it is. Comes in late. They're going to say DeSenza got the ball, breaking the plane, and that's going to be a touchdown for Cuyahoga Heights. That means the score now goes to 34-0. The Red Wolves. A long drive caps off with a less than 1 yard touchdown again from Derek DeSanza, his first of the game.
And what's amazing, so Connors was subbed out, and sometimes when you're one of the other guys, like, all right, we're going to get the ball to you in the goal line, you want to make sure Connors doesn't get the football back. Like, you are, out of respect for your teammate, you want to be the one in the end zone too. So he's able to get himself in there and get the touchdown.
Yeah, DeSanza, 10 carries, 40 yards, and a score. Extra points, a low line drive, and it found its way through.
Good kick.
That one is good. 35-0 will be the score now as Cuyahoga Heights leads Independence here in Independence, Ohio. Of course, reminder that the presenting sponsor for CVC TV is Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. That's Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. Thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. Also want to thank tonight's scoreboard sponsor, Independence Business Supply, an Ohio-owned and operated company with full-service facilities here in Cleveland. And, of course, capable of shipping supplies anywhere in the U.S. IBS is a business products dealer providing you with a single source for office products facility and break room supplies, printing, promotional products, and furniture. Of course, you can visit orderibs.com to learn more about our products and amazing customer service. 2:36 to go in this third quarter, 35-0. The Red Wolves leading the Blue Devils here on CVC TV. AA, we see more of it again. That well-oiled machine. That's Cuyahoga Heights' run attack. Third different player with a rushing touchdown. They've now got, if my tally is correct, 5 different players that have 40 or more yards on the ground tonight.
A complete operation of the offense.
And good kick downfield at about the 18, turning upfield. Big return, a flag coming in late, and that one might be coming back. Oh, Rocco Wrestler turned their corner. He's going to go the distance for the score, but there was a flag all the way in the backfield, and this one's getting blown dead.
But at least for the faithful for right now, take the next few moments to soak it in.
This I did not expect. The confetti cannon came out for that touchdown. That is going to be brought back, and there's holding on the return team.
You don't get a second chance on confetti.
That's unfortunate, but the crowd coming alive a little bit there with that return. Great read by Rocco Wrestler. Just one too many holds in that backfield for the return team, and that means Independence has to bring that ball all the way back.
But you know what, though? And obviously the penalty obviously is not good, but if you want to wake up and get the students back into it, that's a sign.
I've never seen the shift in emotional momentum.
That is unreal.
On that kick return for a touchdown, they got called back. As soon as that play got called back and the student section realized that they've now opened up in a chant that we can't repeat on the air.
But yeah. I will say, though, again, electric crowd, electric student section, and, you know, they're begging for something, anything right now to get this thing going. I know it was called back, though, but to see the stride in action there, that was good to see if you're Independence.
You need to see something positive happen, AA, especially with that last drive to start this first half. They got some good momentum, just couldn't finish it off. Kind of stalled out in Heights territory. Pitch to the outside. That one's caught. Still on his feet. Moving through is Wrestler, and he's eventually going to get wrestled down. Cody Cobb's in there with the senior making a tackle for Heights as Kessler made that catch.
Yeah, Wrestler. One thing I want to get football, tuck it in. Gotta tuck that in, because you leave it out there, somebody's going to come from behind. It's going to strip, and it's a scoop and score. You don't want that.
The Wrestler's check and catch, but he's got -3 yards in the game so far. This time he's going for his 4th. That ball on the sideline, our near sideline. That was Crooks on the sideline. He managed to bring that ball in. This is a gain of about 5 to 6. Going to be a 3rd down and 5 from their own. 25-yard line.
So kind of again like the opening drive of this quarter, where Independence is kind of pushing Cuyahoga Heights on the they're being challenged, from the passing game. How can they contain this passing attack?
Again, Narduzzi dropping back, throwing over the top, tipped and intercepted by Cuyahoga Heights. Brought down, solid tackle, but a little too high. The ball goes up and picked off. 24, Zach Unger, the junior, with the interception. It's going to be Narduzzi's 2nd of the night, and it's Heights football.
Yeah, ball was a bit too high and too hot coming out, and that's what's going to happen. Just there on the run and just trying to, you're down, you're trying to create plays, and maybe next time you look at the film, it's just like, hey, you step in like that, just take off, just get the 1st down.
Yeah, 20 seconds to go in this third quarter, 35-0 to score, and Cuyahoga Heights taking over on the Independence 30. Step in and a run.
And that's just, Kyle, that's just been the kind of the frustrations of the season. Last year they in the playoffs, in the last couple of years, playoff run. And, you're not used to everything that has come your way, Kyle. It's just, it has to be tough for this Blue Devils football team to go through all this adversity, there's only so much you can take.
With that, we're taking to the fourth quarter of play. The score 35-0 as the third quarter ends. Cuyahoga Heights with the ball on the Independence 26-yard line, 2nd and 5 as we start and flip the sides of the field here, AA. And again, a lot more of the rushing attack. These different players have been able to step up. I mean, you could list the guys that have made plays tonight for Cuyahoga Heights. Of course, everyone from Eddie Barrett. We know what Francis Connors has done, over 100 yards in those 3 touchdowns. We've seen Devin Zick with some good plays, and obviously there too, Derek DeSanza, who has another rushing touchdown for the squad. Everyone making plays out there. And you can't forget the quarterback too, Fletcher Sturgill. He's got 54 yards on the ground tonight as well.
So you just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
5 different players that have been able to make impacts with multiple carries. Actually, haven't seen too much of Eddie Barrett running the ball in the second and third quarters. See if that's an option for and Coach Martin too, trying to get him a few more carries here as we get closer to the red zone. But yeah, spreading out those carries, not everyone getting worked too hard, even though 2 of those guys being DeSanza and Connors have 11 and 20 carries respectively.
A complete game. That's what Coach Martin is looking for tonight.
Number 13 in motion there, that's Curtis Van Divner. Again, is DeSanza with the carry.
And this is a team at Cuyahoga Heights. Coach Martin, we talked to him earlier today. He mentioned his kids, his players. They make the decision on what they want their seasons to be. Coach Martin, he doesn't come out and say we want to do this, we want to do that. All he does, he'll use previous teams as a frame of reference. But it's these senior leaders who came out on CVC Media Day and said, we want a state championship. We want that ring. And, overcoming adversity, that's what they're trying to establish here tonight.
Yeah, very much as Sturgill under center. Turned, hand off inside, ball moving forward. That's going to be a first down and then some. A solid carry inside. Again, by DeSanza, was able to move the chains.
And fighting through the whistle, the individual battles too, the one-on-ones and the line up front, handling business. But yeah, all these guys, Nick Novak, 73, Eddie Barrett, Francis Connors, they were part of the media days. And all 3 of them mentioned in some way, shape, or form, state championship goals. They want this team to get back to the state championship game. Should be an offsides here coming up.
And there looks like there is AA. You're right, exactly. Flag coming in. Independence getting a little hoppy on that side of the ball. So moving 5 yards closer. Them being the Red Wolves. That ball getting dropped down at about the 12 now. And again, threatening with 10 minutes to go in this ball game is Cuyahoga Heights again, up 35-0.
But yeah, you have to imagine, for this team, last 2016, 2017, they were in the state championship game. They used last week as a measuring stick. And, going into this week, I'm sure they were angry after that result from last week.
Very much. DeSanza with another carry. He gets taken down at about the 10-yard line, so give him 2 yards. 14th carry of the night for DeSanza. He's got 58 yards in that touchdown. By the way, that makes all 5 of those guys we named before AA all 50 yards plus.
Amazing. And you can't tell me that these players did not take this week of practice seriously.
After last week, this was the score for this Cuyahoga Heights team, 35-0 at Kirtland. And Coach Martin said it could be a wake-up call or it could be just business as usual. We just got to come out and play our game and do what we can to navigate the injury bug and just kind of do everything we can with the players we have out there. And they've been able to do that very well tonight. Again, ball comes out and it's recovered by Independence. How about that? Charlie Meyer, right place, right time, botched handoff. Second turnover of the night for Heights, and after the drive, now it's going to be Independence football.
And just when we were talking about just getting that complete game, that's just, the second fumble of the night for the team, for Cuyahoga Heights. And that's something, if they want those state championship goals, And we only mention that in the broadcast because that's been said about these players. They want that. And, you know, that cannot happen at any point in the game. That can't happen if they aspire to get to that special place in Canton in November. That has to be cleaned up.
Yep. As now Independence going to have the ball. 1st and 10 on their own 15. Looking, throwing. He's got a receiver. It's caught. Turning upfield. Independence. Big hit. Brought down. Narduzzi with a great throw and catch. That was Jack Garnick who made that play, I believe, and it was. And huge play for Independence. That ball moving up 29 yards.
And for Independence, that opportunity is very hard to get a shutout, getting points on the board.
Narduzzi looking, Wythering, left side or right side. This one's caught again. That's going to be Barnhart. Sam Barnhart, the sophomore, with the catch. Gain of about 8.
So a little adjustment now this time, defensively, outside pressure as opposed to interior pressure. And to this point, the Blue Devils have handled the outside pressure way more here.
Yep, so now some momentum, too, for Narduzzi. He drops, throws, nobody there, incomplete. Only white jerseys out there, and Tamir Julius was looking at that ball thinking, man, if I was 2 steps to my right, I would have made that play. Maybe miscommunication at the line of scrimmage with the play.
Another, you know, and that's just, you know, miscommunication between quarterback receivers. You know, that's been the story of the season.
Yeah, Narduzzi now 7 of 20 on the night for 68 yards and those 2 interceptions, but has been showing some promise on this drive, getting back in a little bit of a rhythm here. 3rd and 2, 46-yard line. Narduzzi stepping up, going to throw. That one's caught. Pass midfield, and it's a 1st down.
That time, good find. Stepping up. Receiver was clearly open at that point, and you force your way. You want to deliver a sharp ball there, force your way to get that open receiver, get the 1st down.
That was Steven Minarchik who made that play. And he's going to keep it himself. Big run coming for Narduzzi, who's just not going down. Spinning through is a wave of white jerseys. He doesn't care. Down to the 30. Solid run, 19 yards for Dominic Narduzzi. Still fight with number 17.
You want an impact play. You got it right there. Got it right there for your quarterback. He's determined to get points on the scoreboard.
31 yards on the ground. Narduzzi fires, throws. That one caught, moving the ball down the field. Inside the 20 to the 18. And Barnhart again with his 3rd catch of the night. Moving the chains for another 1st down. That gain of 11.
And it's gut check time now. Cuyahoga Heights, it is gut check time. Get to your assignments, get to your spots. Make the plays.
Yeah, Narduzzi bringing out the quick passes on this drive. This time he's going to keep it. Look, he's going to run. Cutting back inside Narduzzi down after a gain of 4 to 5 yards.
Getting that first read not there, so just go. But the speed of this defense, because I thought from our view, it looked like a clear path to the end zone, actually.
Really did. And rolling through with some quick and play calls. That ball caught, stretching out. Was it enough? And they're going to say no, down at about the 1. And it was Minarchik out there that tried to put his hands out to make that play. So close, 12 yards, needed 13.
I will make a promise. If the Blue Devils are able to get into the end zone, this place will erupt.
They definitely will. Solid catch on the outside by Minarchik, and a flag coming in late, and that could be against the offense. And it will be a false start. All the momentum driving back a little bit.
New opportunity here to keep points off the scoreboard. And that's just the mark of trying to string things together and make things right. And they've not been able to do so.
And Dominic Narduzzi's been on fire this drive. Keeping it himself, running inside. Narduzzi turns, dives, end zone, touchdown, Independence. Dominic Narduzzi from roughly about 10 yards out puts his shoulder down. The quarterback gets into the end zone for the score. Independence's 1st of the game. Dominic Narduzzi says, no, not a shutout.
No.
Gonna do it myself.
And it was all created by the fumble on the other end of the field from the red zone. And the Blue Devils able to drive right down the field and score.
Extra point is up, and that one is going to trickle in and good. So the score now with 4:31 to go in the fourth quarter, 35-7. Cuyahoga Heights on top, but you heard it from the fans. They erupted when Arduzzi put his shoulder down, extended the ball, and got into the end zone. Want some positive momentum moving into the second half of the season. Good to see in the fourth quarter that Independence is able to get across that goal line.
Yeah, and you want to find something that works. And for a quarterback who wasn't able to play the first few games of the season, and he's been trying to work out the rust, and he didn't play a perfect game today, far from it. But for him to lead that drive, like that's a piece of film you could take and say, hey, this works. Hey, receivers be here. Like you can take this film and go. This Blue Devils team, they have some winnable games here remaining on their schedule. So to get that drive, build some momentum, that was great to see, and it came off of the fumble in the red zone.
There's some big passes, of course, on the drive too, but now I'm sure what Coach Adams will say is, hey, we're running the ball. 70 yards as a team on the ground now. Actually might be a season high for Independence today. Yeah,
you said they wanted to establish some form of a running attack. Yeah. And you may have a little bit of something there.
Yeah, found that with Arduzzi, of course. We saw a kid number 9 for him, Jack Koronek, also with a big run on that drive, which really sparked everything up after that fumble recovery. We know on the other side for Cuyahoga Heights now, 4.5 minutes to go. And that's going to be an onside kick, fielded immediately from Heights right at the 47-yard line. Solid play there by Heights. I imagine Double A, it's, hey, keep possession, no life, no anything, just try and run this clock out and walk away with that win. No one else get hurt, no one else has any more issues, and just hold on to the ball if you're the Red Wolves right now.
Maybe. Maybe.
Well, we know the backup quarterback's in as well.
Yeah.
Michael Pasterkiewicz is in the ball game for, again, Cuyahoga Heights, just trying to get him some reps in there too.
Absolutely. I will say on the onside, and
a penalty coming in there.
I don't know.
Possible lose his 15-yarder as well.
Was it a offside or I'm not sure what happened. Because I'm pretty sure the ball went 10 yards. All right.
Some confusion down on the field.
I think they're re-kicking, Kyle.
Yeah, maybe there was a penalty there where he moved the ball back and forward a little bit. And yeah, I think that's the case, Double A. Yeah, maybe there was a penalty on the kicking team.
Oh, I think Cuyahoga Heights was offside.
Interesting.
So
you see that on a kickoff.
Well, I was just going to say
10 yards is where you got to be.
Yeah. And you can't cross that line until the ball is kicked.
Well, second life for Independence.
They might be kicking it deep here. Watch the middle of the field here.
Yeah, wide open in the middle. And actually, they're going to go deep with the ball. That ball bobbled and eventually caught and falling down at the 10 to the 9-yard line. Man, that could have been some rough news there, but DeSanza falls on the ball at the 9.
We got a flag, Kyle.
Was it a late hit on Independence?
Well, a couple things here. I thought just catching the ball is just falling because it's a wacky play there. Remember, it's a live ball, and the football was fielded, the 15? That ball was not rolling all the way to the end zone for an automatic touchback.
No. That was also touched, too. So he had to pick it up and fall on it, because if he didn't,
goes right back to
we're talking about Independence now with first and goal maybe with that. But, look, maybe there was possibly a late hit from Independence. That ball getting moved up from the 10 all the way to the 25-yard line. So some breathing room for this offense. It has ran the ball like pros tonight as a team. You can tell way over 300 yards now as a team running the ball. Yeah, Kira on the inside. And DeSanza getting some work here in this fourth quarter. Derek DeSanza with another rush. That is his 15th of the game. No gain, though. So 2nd and 10. 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Ball on Cuyahoga Heights' own 25-yard line.
Well, Kyle, I gave you a maybe, but I'm going to flip that into you're 100% right. There's this operating offense is just looking to, just keep the football secure to W.
I think definitely
Smart thing to do.
And when you got as many injuries as both these teams do, too, just stay with the status quo, get some yards, and call it if you can. Try and run the clock out. 32 on the carry there. That's Noah Tokar with the carry, his first of the night.
Bless some of the young guys gaining experience. Cuyahoga Heights.
Valuable experience, too, against a rival, a team they're probably going to see in the future. Obviously, a lot more.
Absolutely.
Being Metro Division rivals, too.
Absolutely.
In the CVC.
And they might see at the same restaurant somewhere in town later tonight.
You said there's something going down at the Applebee's. Which, judging by how the student section has been tonight, I might want to try and avoid because they're pretty rowdy down there.
Man.
3rd and 6, 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Pitch to the outside. Turning and a big first down and more. Spinning to the 40, down to the 42, 43-yard line. Solid run out. That was number 16, Cooper Kusha, Jr. with the carry.
Great run there. Excellent blocking, too, to give Kusha the opportunity to take off and go, and he has done so. And
solid run, about 16 or so yards. For
absolutely. Again, just the operation, the offense,
and you
staying in bounds.
Hey, you mentioned 2AA before, kind of giving credit to the line for Cuyahoga Heights. Those big guys up front able to kind of weather the storm, losing a few of their teammates too, and able to keep that push going.
Yeah, Coach Martin mentioned the injuries as well on his side.
Definitely is another carry on the inside for Cuyahoga Heights. Another one for Tokar, who got maybe a yard or two of that. As we click down to just over 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
Yeah.
And, some life in the fourth quarter from Independence too, AA.
Absolutely.
It's easy to fold when you're down 35-0, but able to push back, get on that scoreboard, and almost threaten there with that kickoff too to possibly come back into it. There's a lot of that. Also, love the fact that the student section is still into this game. I mean, when you have that kind of support from the stands, that is that home field advantage. It can help.
Absolutely, and that shows the closeness and this close-knit community here in Independence. And also Cuyahoga Heights had a great showing here tonight too.
Yeah, another run, still on his feet. Yeah, and that was Cooper Kusha that just wouldn't go down. Stayed up and got no gain, but it could have been worse. Actually, maybe lost a yard for Kusha.
I'm sorry, I was a little distracted. Again, the students are having so much fun down here, and it's just they've made these games an event here. They really have.
We've been to now 7 different games so far, and the energy on Independence's sideline.
The stance is rocking right now.
You wouldn't be able to tell.
I'm not kidding. The stance is rocking right now.
You honestly wouldn't be able to tell AA. If they were 5-0 or 0-5, you wouldn't know.
No.
Just the way these guys are cheering for them, the way they're out there for them, they have everyone's backs in the field there. It's great to see as that pitch is going to the outside. Big turn of the field, 22 for Cuyahoga Heights. That being Tamir Julius, and a late hit possibly on the sideline. We'll keep an eye on that flag if there is one.
Yeah, we'll see if there is something. Cuyahoga Heights said today that they wanted a complete football game. Tomorrow, you may not say it was a complete football game. Tonight, though, when you look at the film and you look at like a couple of fumbles, tonight there were a lot of people stepped up today. And yeah, I think they're going to rule that a late hit. Got 15 yards moving up the field,
Yep.
But good work on special teams tonight. Great work up front. And you saw a team that, after they got punched in the mouth last week, they obviously had a great week of practice, great week of preparation and coaching, and they're going to get the W here tonight.
And Tokar with another carry is that ball, and he gets about 4 to 5 yards on that. That's pretty much going to do it. May have to run possibly one more play, but I don't think they will.
By the way, I don't know if we're going to get another Cuyahoga Heights football game this season, but we also cover basketball on CVC TV, and we'll have Coach Martin. He's the head coach of the girls basketball team. So
we'll see him again.
We'll see him again.
And I want to thank you guys for watching. 35-7. Yeah, the score tonight, the final. Cuyahoga Heights gets the win. What a night. Obviously, CVC MVP of the game. Going to have to go to a fantastic player in Francis Connors. 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards on the ground, too. Had a catch. Side note, the co-MVP may be the student section for Independence.
Honestly, yeah. We'll quick recap here for Cuyahoga Heights. A great performance. A team with great, excellent leadership up front. Multiple guys with huge capabilities of running the football. It all started with Francis Connors with the opening 3 touchdowns, but just methodically driving down the field, using their physicality. Also like to look, when you have 5 guys who are offensive running threats, that means your offensive line went beast mode. And they did just that, so all credit to Cuyahoga Heights offensively and, of course, defensively as well. Maintaining that effort up front, especially with the pressures up the gut, and they handle business. For the Blue Devils, in Cuyahoga Heights, they do a jumping jacks as well there. Yeah, there's a lot of things beyond the football game I was very fascinated about tonight. Blue Devils. They have a really good football team. The record doesn't show it. The record, honestly, in my opinion, is very misleading because I think what we saw tonight, their quarterback, that last drive that he had, driving right down the field after the turnover.
That's what could happen on a day-in, day-out basis once he gets his rhythm down.
Yeah,
because this wasn't game number 3 for him for the season, 3rd game. It was actually his 6th game, so it's a bit out of turn for Narduzzi, but that's what you could see on a day-in, day-out basis and a game-in, game-out basis for him. That's what we expect, what the coaching staff expects for him moving forward.
They have some favorable games coming up, so if they can honestly get one, and if they get one, then they can roll off a bunch here and be good to go. And then my last thing, Friday nights in Independence, Ohio is special. I like just what we see from the student section, the bands, the engagement. Like these kids, they love it. They showed up for this rivalry game, and just incredible. There was not, if you got to this game late, you were not going to find a seat. Just an incredible turnout for both of these teams. And we witnessed the student section of Independence right in front of us, very lively.
Well, the good news is AA. We'll see Independence again later in the season. Last game of the year for us against Trinity. We'll have that game for you here on CVC TV. And, of course, next week, Lakeside, Jefferson. We're going to be in Ashtabula County.
Oh.
Yeah, sharpest point of Ohio in northeast up there. We'll be covering that game for you guys. Looking forward to it.
So what? We go from the middle of Cuyahoga County to Ashtabula County next week?
You want to ride?
We'll talk.
We will. Let's get into it, folks, here again from the beautiful Alumni Field and Stan Scozen Stadium in Independence, Ohio. For AA Anthony Alfred, I'm Kyle Cordell. I want to thank all of our staff and crew behind the scenes making us be able to stream this for you and make it all possible. The final again here from Independence, 35-7. Cuyahoga Heights improves to 4-1. Independence falls to 0-6. We'll see you next time here on CVC TV.